back to work after the bye weekend, so we're back to normal schedule. Monday practice today. Got a head start last week with some stuff, so that part's good, and we'll just keep watching. So opponents played really well at times this year, and I think has some really good players, and gives some people some problems up front with a lot of different movements and stunts, and some really good rushers on third down. So we're gonna have to play really well.
Question for Coach. John starts off.
Lane, I know you mentioned a little bit there, but how was the bye week? What were you up to? Did you do anything? And how was it to kind of have a week off?
Well, it's just a weekend. We guys had to come back last night, so hopefully you guys got some rest, and I was able to go down to Florida, but the weather didn't cooperate very well, so 8-foot seas, doesn't let you go fishing. So, but got some rest and ready to come back to work.
Go to Nick.
Lane, how concerned were you for both you and the players going home for the weekend with all the COVID stuff, and just have you gotten any early reports about how players did?
Well, we tested this morning. We don't have those back yet, so that's very concerning. We talked to them a lot about it, so hopefully they did a good job. We'll know. I think the tests usually come back the same day.
Parrish, go ahead.
Lane, how does it change preparation when an opponent might be transitioning at quarterback?
Yeah, they told me that today, that they're opening the competition, I think. So DJ was talking about that today, not knowing. So we'll just have to prepare, and whoever plays.
What differences do you see in those two quarterbacks, or have you had a chance to look at them that closely yet?
I have not gotten to that side of the ball. Spent it on the other side last week, did the whole game plan. So I'll get to that today.
David, go ahead.
Lane, do you see South Carolina as comparable to anyone else y'all have played thus far this season? And if not, what unique challenges do they present for you guys?
Well, they've run the ball really well at times. I don't know, maybe, and got some really good defensive players, maybe like Kentucky, I guess, or maybe. But Will does a great job, really multiple, a lot of different disguises and pressures, and, in that, Alabama tree, the Nick Saban tree of defensive guys.
Back to Nick.
Just from the self-scouting perspective, do you feel like there's any ways you guys got better during the bye week?
I don't know. I mean, we did a lot of work on consistency in the run game, communication up front, and so hopefully we did there. A lot of red zone work, because we're as good as anybody in the country offensively outside of the red zone. Look at the numbers of yards and first downs. I think I saw yesterday, if you look at like first downs, and it's us and Alabama, no one else is even close to us. I want to say maybe like 4 a game in the conference, more first downs than anyone else. So our problem has been the struggles in the red zone, and then the turnovers in one game. I don't know. I thought I saw maybe like we have 10 turnovers or something. So it means, we had 7 in one game and 3 in all the other games combined.
Just kind of from a big picture perspective, how do you evaluate the freshman class this year? You've gotten to see them 6 games, about 10 weeks of practices. Where do you think they stand?
Like we said, the late start, we saved some spots, number of transfer guys. So it's really not that big of a class, but some good players in there. Henry Parrish looked really good when we finally got him in the game. So, we'll see.
Parrish.
Lane, just looking at South Carolina scores, they looked a lot more competitive earlier in the season. In the last two games have been a dramatic shift. Is there anything you've seen in them that would lead you to believe what's going on there?
I don't know that. You know, I was obviously surprised by the points difference, you know, in A&M, because I thought that, you know, when I see them, I know statistically they're not great on defense, but they look really good to me, and really good players with a lot of twitch up front. So it just sounds like they've been up and down throughout the year. And I think somebody said, you know, safety was out with COVID this week or something like that. So, you know, maybe it's been some injuries and COVID cases also.
Go ahead, John.
I know you talked about him obviously last week a little bit too, but just kind of talk about Elijah in the sense of, obviously you've been a coach for a while. How does he kind of compare to other players you've coached at that position? How much does he open up the offense, and what have you kind of seen from him lately that's kind of helped you guys out?
Well, we really haven't had, you know, no offense to anybody, but a really, you know, unique slot. You know, we've usually had, you know, kind of bigger receivers for the most part, you know, more traditional outside guys, you know, of the great ones. And, you know, all the way back to Mike Williams, top 10 pick, and Amari Cooper, and, you know, the different guys along the ways. But, you know, this is a first-round slot. You know, I would say, I didn't coach him, but he kind of reminds me of, you know, the Carolina Steve Smith. You know, just the stop and start, you know, the ability, he's so explosive, and a great route runner. So even though I didn't have him, that would probably be you know, what I would compare him to.
Go ahead, David.
Yeah, Lane, did the bye week give you guys an opportunity to work maybe a little out of the ordinary on the field goal PAT game, and you know, just where does all that stand right now?
You know, we let both guys kick, and you know, kind of open it up. So we'll know more in the next couple of days. You know, but it's just been a kicker issue to me. It's not been, you know, like protection. So he's just got to do a better job.
Go to Yancey.
Normal bye week, you're out on the road recruiting. This week, obviously, with COVID, you're not able to do that. Just how much are you able to put on the game field during this senior season, evaluating how they're doing game by game versus seeing them in person?
It's very difficult. It's even more difficult because some kids aren't playing at all. So, you know, I just watched a kid today, and you got no new information, you know, and maybe an eval says, hey, we like this kid, but, you know, let's look at his senior film, you know, because he's right there, you know, on the bubble. So, very difficult.